Hi everyone, this video is going to go over our life science syllabus. I'm Mrs. Fagundes and you can reach me either through email or phone, right? My email is cfagundes@weaverusd.org. The phone number to reach me at is the school's phone number and extension 2238. Here it says, hello Weaver families. I'm excited about our year together in 7th grade science. This syllabus contains important information about the school year. Please read it and keep it as a reference. So the class description is as follows. It says, welcome students. This class will cover the basics of life as we currently understand it in the scientific community, right? Currently is emphasized because, as you know, right, science is evolving and the information we have about the world is continuously changing and evolving. The topics we cover will range from the inner workings of cells within us to the complex interactions of ecosystems and how they evolve over time. This class will be both interesting and challenging. Life science is designed to be active, and so your presence and participation are key. My core beliefs are the following. I believe that every student is an amazing individual with a unique perspective and voice to contribute to the class. I believe that every student has the right to be respected, that every student has the right to learn in a safe and caring environment, and the right learning environment should be filled with a community of learners who support one another and collaborate to work towards success. And so this is the mindset I try to show up with every single day. And as long as we have an understanding about this, everything should be all good. As far as student expectations, you guys are expected to come to class on time every day and prepared with your science folder, sketch notes, and TCI notebook. You will borrow 3 TCI textbooks that can stay at home until we bring them back to the library. You are welcome to bring your own pencils, colored pencils, and highlighters, but we will provide all those things for you. Students are expected to complete work on time, right? So your classwork assignments, make sure that you're working diligently. And basically, if you manage your time well, you should have enough time in class to complete all of your work. And anything you do not finish, any unfinished classwork is homework due at the start of the following class period. As far as grading goes, this should be pretty straightforward, something that you're probably already familiar with, right? A 90 to 100% will give you an A, 80 to 89% a B, 70 to 79% a C, 60 to 69% a D. Anything below that is an F. And so the course grade weights, so for your tests and projects, they are weighed most heavily at 40%. Quizzes are 10%. So they're not worth that much. They're there for little checkups, just to make sure that if we went over something and you're not understanding the concept fully, it's giving you time to understand that you need to work on something in terms of content, right? And so if you didn't get a good quiz score, the best thing to do is reach out to me and say, I'm not really happy with the quiz score. How can I improve? And then we'll go from there. Assignments are going to be 30% and your science notebook, 20%. Your science notebook, this is anything we do in the sketch notes and your interactive investigation notebook. You will receive your trimester grades 3 times during the year. Each student is responsible for checking in on their grade weekly on Aries. I update grades at the end of the week. Note that late work will be graded after I grade work that's been submitted on time. And at the end of the trimester, I might not be able to grade late work. As far as assignments and homework, you'll be assigned classwork assignments regularly Anything you don't finish in class is, again, your homework due at the beginning of the next class period, unless otherwise stated. Quality counts, right? So do your assignments well with thought and energy. If you're confused about how to start or do an assignment, just ask. I'm always happy to help. And just make sure you're not waiting right before it's due, right? I can only help you as much as you help yourself. And as far as your grade in this class, right, not just grading for completion, I'm looking at quality. And so what you turn in is basically what you get. So this page you want to keep in your science folder. As far as late work, any work turned in after the due date is considered late and will receive partial credit if turned in within 1 week. Again, I grade late work after I grade work that's been already submitted from about 170 students, right? And so if you're in the situation where you have late work, I need you to turn in this Google form on Google Classroom titled Late Work Waiting List. If you still need work graded after 1 week, okay? So only turn that Google form in if it's already been 1 week and I still didn't get to it. Once we have completed a unit, late work will no longer be accepted. So I want you to do your best to complete your assignments in class and on time. And the reason for this is because if I accept late work from one student from a previous unit, I'm gonna have to do that for everyone. And that's way too much to do. And so if I can't do it for everyone, I'm not gonna do it for anyone. Projects, tests, and quizzes. So we will have a project or test after each unit. Projects and tests will be announced well in advance, and I want you to expect quizzes regularly. These quizzes are a way for you to evaluate how well you're learning the course content. And if you know you're going to be absent on the day of a test, let me know in advance so that we can set up an alternative date. Tests and projects will cover material covered in your textbooks, class, and labs. Students will always have the opportunity to correct failing tests or quiz scores to a passing grade. As far as absences, again, if you're absent, right, the first place I want you to check is Google Classroom. There's going to be a document titled Science, Agenda, and Assignments. That is going to be the first place you go if you miss a day. You are responsible for figuring out what you missed while you were out. If students have excused absences, say for example, you were sick or there was a family emergency, you can turn in any missed work within the same amount of days absent after returning to class. Some excused absences will be determined on a personal basis by the teacher. And so say for example, a student who was absent for 2 days, that student is going to have 2 days to make up the work after they come back to class. It's the student's responsibility to find out what kind of work needs to be made up. And again, if a life situation is happening, just make sure that you let me know what's going on so that we can figure out what to do in terms of your work. Seats and labs. So your seats will be assigned to you and they will change periodically. I need you to get to know other people in this class and how to work, and I need you to learn how to work with other personalities. Safety equipment must be worn and equipment left clean for the next class. When we perform lab assignments, you must follow the safety guidelines. The honesty policy is as follows. Cheating will not be tolerated and will result in a 0 on any test, quiz, lab, or homework assignment. This includes copying someone else's work and calling it your own. This is also known as plagiarism. All students involved will be held responsible and referred to the administration for disciplinary action. So tips, advice for success. Make sure you show up, you come to class with your assignments completed. You revisit your classwork and homework notes in preparation for any quizzes. Check areas every week to keep track of your current grade in the class. Ask questions all of the time. I'm happy to help. Don't wait until right before the test or project and say, I'm so lost, I don't get it. By that point, it's too late. You need to be proactive in your education. I encourage you to talk about science with people around you, right? And notice how science plays a role in the world around us. If you need extra help, just ask, and we can schedule an appointment either in person or through email. So for this page, you are going to keep this page in your science folder. The last page of your syllabus, this is the page that you're going to detach, sign, and turn in, right? And here it says, I've read and understood Mrs. Fagundes' policies and expectations with this class. You're going to print your name, first and last name, sign and date, have your parent or guardian print their name, sign and date, the best number to reach that parent or guardian, as well as an email. And then this section right here, it just says, feel free to send a parent square message or email with any questions, comments, or concerns. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I look forward to working with your Wildcat family this school year. If there's anything that you would like for me to know, and or if there are methods you know which will help your students succeed, please use the space below to let me know. Thanks for your time. Okay. I look forward to working with all of you.